There's an economics to biology. All animals have roughly the same parts. Food goes in, waste comes out, and along the way, we use what we can and adapt. Primates were not exceptional, shaped by our environment. Bellies built for bugs and bananas, the anxious eyes of an omnivore, predator and prey, hands for grasping branches, off the ground but under the brush, an ever-wandering mind, reliant on our social groups. When the climate changed, and the trees receded in parts of Africa, we had to hit the ground running. The first proto-human skull science ever correctly identified was a small child, killed by an enormous bird. But some ran faster. Our nimble fingers found other uses than grasping branches, uses like tools and sign language. Learning to control fire was like a stock market boom to our biological economist. Free from endless chewing, our wandering minds expanded. When we look at our closest living cousins, the great apes, we see other biological paths our ancestors could have followed, and we recognize ourselves. This is an uncomfortable line of investigation. Are we like gorillas? A species dominated by violent males who build harems and kill the offspring of their rivals? Are we like chimpanzees, tribal and gang-like? Are we like bonobos, freely sexual and capable of diffusing conflict with intimacy? We are all of these things and none of them. There is no untainted core at the center of human nature. We are animals who somehow managed to break free of our place in the ecosystem. Family skeletons hide in our closet and in our gene pool. Neanderthal and Erectus are still diffused in our DNA, driven to extinction by their brother, Sapien. We rest uneasily on our mountain of accomplishments. Enlightenment philosophers imagined the lives of early humans to be nasty, brutish, and short. But what we can piece together of hunter-gatherers paints a much rosier picture. The world was our garden, and it was good. We wandered the world to the places where food came the easiest. A forager never had a 40-hour work week. Nature was abundant then, and humans were few. In all that free time, we were fruitful and multiplied. Humans evolved to have sex for pleasure. Our infants rely on a network of adults to care for them for far longer than any other primate. Human ovulation is hidden, and female arousal is not strictly dependent on it.
Maybe a diagram will help.
Human penises, of any size,
Here's the penis.
are larger than even the most intimidating gorilla. Our sperm are militarized to fight with other sperm, and our eggs are very selective about who they allow in. Before complex spoken language, sex was just another way of strengthening community ties. In our garden, we were naked and unashamed. Knowledge led us out. Many animals communicate, use tools, even instruct their young in behaviors that biological instinct failed to teach. A chimpanzee can teach another where to go for water and how to avoid crocodiles. But no group of chimpanzees has ever conquered another group and taken their captors down to the river to feed to their crocodile god. We cannot say the same of humans. We are very fond of making gods in our own image. Narrative, abstraction, myth. These things are not lies. Like DNA, stories are ways of storing data. Resilient, but inefficient. Subject to mutation. Around our fires, we struggled to make sense of our world. Some of our well-intentioned stories led us to do foolish things. Others, true or not, kept us alive, organized our social lives into hierarchies in ways that could outpace natural selection. An anthill or beehive will always have the same hierarchy. A human band can have a revolution every generation or every year, reorganizing who gets what, who is in charge, who lives and who dies. We shape our environment and our own evolution with our stories. Human stories can create, on top of the facts, a matrix of intersubjective realities. So many of the stories that made us who we are have been lost. It is only in the last 0.1% of our time on Earth that anyone thought to write anything down. When we did begin to put down roots, the whole world changed.